Welcome. I'm nervous, so please excuse me. I hope you enjoy the class. These are my easy making cards, so let's have fun. Let's go to it. Okay, so those of you who are going to play with me today, I'll need you to pull out either your printed paper or the adult coloring paper if you could not buy a printed paper. Since this is a beginner's class, I did not want anybody to have to spend a lot of money on supplies. So we're going to do it by real rough with no supplies. What I'm going to need you to do is take your printed paper, turn it over. I need you to cut it 4 inches. So we're going to measure 4 inches, 4 inches. This is because I cannot do straight. If you have a paper cutter, please cut it 4 inches across. There will be instructions in the after handout on all of this. So if I have totally confused you or going too fast or you can't keep up, they'll be in there. So this is 4 inches right here. I need you to go next again, another 4 inches. This 1/2 inch will be scrapped. Of course, if you're real good about it, you can always reuse your scraps. So, okay, so now we're going to roll down again another 4 inches. With the adult coloring, this is not an 8.5 inch wide page. So this one, you're going to cut a 4 inch strip. Can you tell I'm nervous? I'm shaking. And I'm going to warn you, I don't do straight. So that one's the 4 inch one. This one will be 3 1/4 inch. We leave that as is. All right, take your scissors or your paper cutter if you've already cut. Oh yeah, this is not straight, but that's okay. So those are the 2 pieces that you'll need for the adult coloring if you did not have a printed piece of paper. So I'm cutting off the scrap piece here, cutting this one into, this is now 4 inches by 11. All right. The first card we're going to do is this one. So you're going to take one of your 4 inch strips on both the printed and or the adult coloring. You're going to cut 4 1/4 down. Again, 4 1/4 down. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to get the same amount of cards off of the adult coloring because, of course, it was not as wide as a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. But okay, so your adult coloring, you've measured it down 4 1/4. Cut across. Your printed paper, you've measured it down 4 1/4. God, I'm shaking. All right. Save this piece. Of course, you can't get it mixed up with that one, but okay. So now what you're going to want to do is take your ruler, go from side to side, from edge to edge diagonally. All right. You have your cardstock. Make sure it's open in the right direction. I have messed it up before. So you're going to take and you're going to cut the diagonal. And then again on the adult coloring, All right, I asked you to purchase, oh, there it is, double stick tape, because if you didn't like doing this, you could at least use this in the house somewhere. Throughout the class today, I'll be showing you all kinds of other adhesives. Okay, double stick tape. Go ahead and stick a chunk right there. And then because of the point, let's go ahead and run it there. Now it's going to overhang. So what you're going to want to do, and you can't see it, you're going to want to feel that tape and fold it back in. You don't want adhesive showing. Unfortunately, you cannot use an adhesive eraser on double stick tape. All right, that's one piece. Again. Now, if you notice, I'm working on a mat. That is a, it's a self-healing mat. I personally like working on it. It keeps me inbound, whatever. My table at home is not real smooth. So I have that, oops, okay. So now, we've got your pictures. Now, if you've got a pattern like this, like this one, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's right. Sorry, I have no better words for that. All right, lay your piece of paper, 1/4 inch. Oh, I see a piece of tape. About 1/8 of an inch from the edge. And as you can tell, like I said, I am very nervous, so I'm very crooked. But when you're at home and you're doing it without many people watching you, it's easier. Okay, so that's your first card. You can use a stamp, but because I asked just for minimal, we are going to, this is how I work at home too, where I can't find nothing. All right, I'm just going to use a Sharpie. So we're just going to put a sentiment in here. Okay, so if you look at this, it's like, okay, I'm falling off the edges here. Was taught a great trick. Let's close the card up. Just hit 3 dots. Your eyes now stay on the card. They're not falling off. All right, so now back to the adult coloring one. Same method. And of course, for some reason, my paper did not cut right. There we go. I have to go this way with it. That'll be the same effect. You'll put the adhesive on it and you'll write your saying in it. Okay. Second card is it's a little trickier, but it's kind of fun. Take your first strip again. And let me see if, unfortunately, the adult coloring one does not have this pattern in it. There was not enough space on there. So on this one, you're going to cut 2 inches. Two inches down. So your paper is going to be 2 inches by 4 inches. Then take that 2 by 4 inch piece and cut it into a square of 2" each. And what you're going to do is you're going to place it like this. And of course, double stick tape again. These are called, just so you see it, this is what I'm working with. It's called a one-sheet wonder. There are tons of these on Pinterest. I made these up so I could get it, you know, what I could in this class. So, all right, so we're going to try it. Now we want to center this a little bit, not center it because we want to put a sentiment at the bottom. So let's put that sucker right there. Okay, now you also you don't need stamps. You just print something out and you just cut it up and put it on there. So we're going to cut ascending hubs. And we're going to put that down. Now you can use a stamp, of course. You can use stickers, saying stickers. There. Oh, wow. That's like, there's nothing there. So build it up a little bit, take your pen and run it around. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you're perfect, you're anal, perfect. Me, I'm hurrying up. It closes in a little bit, makes it look a little prettier. You can also use matching color to the paper in the pen. I generally use black. I use black ink, I use black pen. I am now starting to use colors. Okay, that's not bad, but I can't see sending hugs. So we just run that one through sending hugs. My sample, you can tell I took time to do. So again, if you can't catch up with me, this is all going to be in a handout. The only thing that won't be in the handout is the cutout for the adult coloring because there's so many different sizes of adult coloring. Wow, that's cool. What do you see? Nothing, because your eyes are falling off the card. 3 dots. It's an easy way to fill up spots, empty spaces, without having to add more stuff to the card itself. Oh, missed that one. There, your face, your eyes stay on the card now. All right, that's card 2. Okay, card 3, from the same 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you have this piece left. And 3 1/4. Okay, so basically that one is placing it on the card. Put more adhesive on there. I'll go through all of the adhesives later on. This being a make and take. You go to classes and they say you're going to make and take 5 classes, 5 cards. You're going to go in and you're going to make cards and you're going to walk out with them. You're going to take them. So again, another sentiment. And watch the adhesive on the sides. You gotta, and if you can't get that, I like to have a pair of scissors that are nothing but for glue, sticky glue, because nothing's worse than getting your good pair of scissors out there, getting glue on them, and then trying to cut paper with it. So I have a pair of really fine tipped scissors. I have regular cutting scissors. And then these are just the cheapo scissors for my glue. There is card number 3. All right. Card number 4. We're going to use, again, we're back to the adult coloring. That's that piece that was left. We're going to take the last strip of the 8.5 by 11. And we're going to cut that one 5 1/4 down. And if I'm not mistaken, this one measures 5 1/4. I love it when it comes together. Okay. Cut your printed paper 5 1/4 down. This one, card measures 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So this leaves a nice little 1/8 inch edge all the way around it. Once again, oops, double take that one. And then that one is going to look like this. That's this card and that card. All right. Okay. I generally do not work with double stick tape. I end up taping more than I should be taping. But everybody's got their preference. I'll show you the various things that are like white glue. Mona uses glue. Margaret and I both use tape runners. Okay, so that one's on there. Some people I've heard use glue stick. I tried that for this class. Not me. I had more glue stick on me than was in the glue stick itself. So I figured I'd stick with the double-sided stick tape. Okay. And of course, your adult coloring, you want to put it on, you know, however the pattern is. I like it this way, so we're going to put it just like this. Okay, so now for those who don't have, if you have a stamp, then what you would do is you would take a white cardstock or matching cardstock and stamp on it and put it down. Now, since we're doing beginners, we've got words. So we're going to cut these words. Oh, please don't look at my straight edges. My husband would be cringing. Okay, and that's going to go across. Now, the problem with Xerox paper is it shows through. So you kind of want a heavier stock if you're working it. But if you're going to be working with Xerox paper, that one, I mean, it's like, it's okay. But, you know, some of us that are OCD just can't deal with it. So basically what you would do is you would just cut a second piece and then it would thicken, you know, thicken up the color, whatever. I'm only going to do one. And there you can't see the color through it. But you would put your sentiment on there. And this is probably the easiest card you could do. Just one solid piece. You could get all kinds of pattern paper, just like that. Oh, look at that. Sending hugs. I can't see it. All right, this is what you do. The trick is to make sure that people see your card, that their eyes don't fall off, and you know, it's just a thing that that we see nowadays. And then of course close it in because you want them to stay in on the words. And there we go. Now you see sending hugs. Now this sentiment can be moved anywhere on that card. All right, that one's done. Next card is okay, so I am, all right, what am I doing here? Don't know what happened already. We've got, we're gonna do this one. We're gonna do that one, and we're gonna do this one. These are fun. So you've got your adult coloring, and what you're gonna wanna do is, you got a 3 1/4 inch strip. You're gonna cut down, oh, that was the leftovers. Okay, sorry guys. You're gonna cut this 4 inches. So there is a second card. It's hard to do 2 sets of cards at one time. I did all my notes, but of course I didn't label each of my pages of notes with the cards I was doing. But that's okay. We cut our 4. Okay, so that's 4 inches by 3 1/4. And then this one, this should be already. This one I need 4 1/4. Okay, so I've realized I cannot be talking about other things while I'm doing this. So I am, when I get to that, done with this class, this make and take, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff on all my tools I'm using. Okay, so you're going to cut 3 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch pieces from this one. Make sure that your pattern is the right direction. This paper was good because it really doesn't have a pattern. But if you have faces or sun, or or butterflies, make sure your butterflies are pointed the right direction. So you want to make sure that you got it faced up right, and then you want to measure 1 1/4. So you're going to do 1 1/4 across 3 times. 1/4. And 1 1/4. Now, on the directions that are going to be handed out at the end, the flyers that are handed out at the end of class, it'll have pictures of these cards. It'll have words on what to do, and then it'll have the One Sheet Wonder template. The template is not to scale, so it just gives you measurements that you can work with. Okay, so we're going to do, now the adult coloring is different because it's smaller. So this one, when you cut this one, you got to keep them in order so your picture stays in order. So you've got your 3 1/4 inch strip. And you are going to cut 1 inch, 1 1/4, which leaves the 1 inch. And that's only because this paper is not a full 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I had to adjust it accordingly. All right, let's see. All right, so this will be, oh man, look at my lines. Don't show Roy. Oh my God, my husband killed me with the ruler. I'm a paper cutter girl. After this, that's all you're gonna see. Okay. So put your adhesive down. And then like I was telling you, make sure your pictures are in order. So, of course, I didn't. Right there, that's that one. Okay. Okay, you get the picture, right? Sorry, guys. Okay, just so you know how to make the card. All right. I want to put that down. And now you'll understand why you, oops, I see tape. Roll that puppy over. There we go. No, 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 no. And of course, I didn't shimmy it right. It does fit, believe me. When you're taking your time, it works. It's much better. I have to give myself that. I can't be worried about it. It's not perfect. Okay, so now we do this one, the adult coloring. This is the one I got to make sure I stay. Okay, I'm going to do this. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now there is another card that comes with this too, and I'll just show you what it looks like because I set myself 30 minutes for this class. This they can take, so I can tell you everything. Oh, somebody's got music on. All right. Come on, slow down. That's 3. Okay. Now this being a little bit, 1 is 1 and 1 is 1 1/4. I am, oops, I did that one. I am going to put my middle piece down first. Don't ask. Don't even ask. Okay, so how come? Oh, no, 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 don't stick. Right there. That's it. Okay. So there's my middle piece. There's this one. And please make this one work right. Yes. Okay, see? All right. That way my picture is the same. Okay. So adult coloring is a little different. You're going to have to make it fit the page. But you get the idea. Put a sentiment on it. This one I did, and these were empty, so I just drew little hearts on there. The last card, that's the last piece. So that just went sideways. And then the last piece of, okay. there is another piece of the printed paper that goes like this. So you get the idea. Basically, this will tell you there's that one right there, which is it tells you how to do it, how to cut it. So you end up with this picture of the card. That was the crossed over one. There's the one we just finished. And again, this is the 8.5 by 11. Okay, I'm going to clear my desk for the next section. Mona, if there's anything, just let me know.
No, we're good, Mary. This is great. We've been answering the questions in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Just keep putting your questions in there if you have any, while Mary sets up for the next little segment. These cards are a great way, this format is a great way to make cards without a lot of investment. But we are convinced once you start making cards, you're just going to get hooked. Like the yarn people, you'll keep buying more stuff, but beautiful creations can be made. Mary, we do have one request to slow down, although I don't think you're doing any more actual teaching,
No.
are you?
No.
Okay, yeah. But just as a reminder, the instructions will be sent, the specific instructions will be sent after the class. So you'll have the exact diagram on how to cut out that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper to make all those wonderful cards. And an important thing I have discovered through watching Mary is it doesn't have to be perfect. So there are, you know, if your paper is a smidge off, improvise, snip it off on the other side and just make some beautiful creation from it. It's no one is ever going to know, and it's going to turn out wonderfully.
Okay.
Everyone, as a quick reminder, please put yourself on mute. Thank you.
Okay, this is a 12 by 12 one sheet wonder. I tend to work a lot with 12 by 12. It's easier to find printed paper. I mean, they have so much paper. I mean, just pages and pages of it. This is a double-sided pack, and most of the paper in designer paper in the pack comes, and they all match. So you can use one sheet with another sheet. So it's really cool. Now, when you're getting a 12 by 12 pack of paper, don't assume that that whole thing is 12 by 12, or that now sometimes in the pack they come with a little teeny tiny hole. That is not 12 by 12 either. You have to measure and make sure. Now there are some good packs that'll actually be 12 to 12, 12 to 12. Just measure your paper before you start cutting anything. This one is really nice because you buy them individual sheets. This one, you actually just cut that piece off. And so that's one side of it. And then, of course, there's the other side of it. Okay, so we're going to work with this one. And we're going to talk about paper cutters. There's all kinds of paper cutters. Guillotine, rotary blade, things like that. So we're basically, what I'm going to do is just show you how to make these. So this paper cutter is cool because it's got the, now I have a lot of us have the huge guillotine at home that sits on the desk. So with this one, you're going to cut 4 3-inch strips. Each strip is a different card. If you like one card over the other, you make all 3 strips the same. It's totally up to you. Margaret, Mona, Mom and I, Margaret came up and found this, and we have been doing our cards like this a lot lately. And that one is this style right here. Okay, so we're going to cut 4-inch strips, and then so everything is even, Steven. So the first one is This guy right here. Cute little dude. Here's my personal cutter. Can't live without one of those. Of course, it only goes to 4 inches. There's some that go to 8 and stuff, but my space at home needs this. So this card, you're gonna cut 3 inches down. Now, the instructions for this will be in the after handout as well. So we're cutting 3 and we're cutting 2 ones. Now, double-sided paper, you reverse it and you put that there. Take this guy, turn it over, take that one and turn it over. Ta-da, card. Okay, so now that little sentiment guy punches. Awesome, can't live without him. All right, so here's my sentiment I've already stamped. Put that little guy in there and punch it. Okay, so it's going to go on the card. Oh man, it gets lost. You can't see it. So what you do is you take the same punch a matching coordinating color. Then you take it and you cut it in half. I got my tape runner back. Yes. Okay. So we'll discuss this in a little bit. So you take and you run it. And I can't live without the tweezers. My fingers just don't work anymore. So yeah, put that on there like that. And then you take this one. Okay, turn it around, Mary. And you now have matted. Now what I would do is, I don't have my little itty bitties. There's a little piece showing right there. Okay, we're just gonna nip that one right off. Oh, there's another little pokey piece, so I'm just gonna nip that one right off. And now that's matted. That's what they call matting. So that's that card. And let me keep all my pieces together. All right, so the second card in the second column. Now that's 2 right on this column here. Now when you're done, when you've made these 2, there'll be a 2-inch piece at the bottom. So I need to cut that out because that's another card. Oh God, I'm gonna run out of time here. Okay. The other one is taking, this one is going to be cutting it 5 inches. 2.5, 2.5, that's 5. Okay, I need a paper cutter. You know what? Okay, we're gonna do this because I'm not gonna have enough time to show you. All right, so here's your card, your mat. Okay, so card 4, I mean the E card and the F card is this model here. You'll be cutting it in 2 pieces and you'll be flipping the bottom half over. Again, using a punch like that, about that big. And then because you've got that punch, I don't think that's big enough. Because when you put that on there, again, you kind of lose your sight. So when you put your now these are called, we call them dazzles. Of course, they're not called dazzles. They're not what the right words are. Oh God, I am like lost here, guys. Sorry. But that is also there's 4 pages of links of my tools. If I didn't talk about them, they're probably on there because I forgot to talk about them. Okay, so you've got that sentiment on there. Use a sticker, use a stamp. It's kind of lost again. So sit there and just dot it. So another little easy technique that will just make your cards pop without a lot of effort. Thus, it is now pops. Okay, so that's this column. This one was a tricky one. This one you cut into 5 inches, and then you cut them into 4 squares, and you get this dude. Centering it is fun. What I did was I took a pencil mark and I put a pencil right in the middle of that so I could butt these guys in there. I stuck a sticker on this. You can also put a sentiment in the middle of it if you want. The card G, which is this one. This is that leftover piece and this leftover piece. And this one is 2 inches, that one's 1.5. So I put the 2 inch on top and the 1.5 on bottom. Of course, you're not going to be able to get a pattern matching because it's from 2 different columns. And then I just went and used stamp for that. Now that I use the Misty. I am a Misty person. This one's not going to work. This is not the right one. This is called a stamping platform. These are good for your clear or cling stamps. So you put your stamp on there. This one says sending happy thoughts across the miles. You put it on your paper and it sticks. Okay. It comes with 2 magnets. I only have one with me. All right, so you take your ink. Ink should be stored face down because when it's stored like this, all the ink is running down into the bottom of the ink pad. So if you store it face down like this, all the ink runs to the top. That's with the exception of Stampin' Up. I don't know any other brands that have that. Stampin' Up's ink, when you store it, automatically is stored down. So you put your ink. Now, as with rubber stamps, breathe on it. It gets a little wet, not wet, but moist. Oops. Of course, I made a goober. And then, of course, if it doesn't do it right, you're still here because your magnet is here, and you can just re-ink it again. With wooden stamps, oh, and cleaning, we clean our stamps with a chamois, water, and a lint-free rag is perfect. If you buy the stamp cleaners, they say online that, it tends to ruin the stamps eventually. So this is just a chamois, an embarrassing chamois because I use it. It's wet. So clean your stamps. And of course you can't see that because there we go. So you clean your stamps and clean that mess up too. That's also in the links of things. Okay. All right. So, oh God, I need like 6 hours, not an hour. Okay, so we're just going to move on along here. Other ways to make cards. Please message me if you have any questions. Don't hesitate. Mona will answer too, right, sis? Okay, so adult coloring. Adult coloring, I hate coloring, you know that. So people have been coloring for me. You get this and it's like, wow, how do I put them on cards? I made this cute little hack. What this is it's the plastic from a pack. It's a plastic from the pack of stickers. And what I did was measured a full card size, and then I did just the other day an inside of the 1/8 inch around the edge. Okay, so you got this little sucker. and you're like, what am I gonna do with this color? And you do this. It's like, okay, that's a good one. Maybe over there too. You can see where things are going. Okay, so that first one that we saw was the centerpiece. There's the centerpiece card. I love this card. So you get this out and you're like, okay, so what am I gonna do? What color? So you get a bunch of colored stock together and you go, okay, which one's gonna be the best? Your eye will tell you what you like best. So, and then you just put that on there. These are the other cards that came out of there. And as you can see, this is called fussy cutting, where you cut around something. Okay. You know what? I bet this thing needs to go. Can't see. Let's just do this on white paper. Okay. Hopefully that helps better. All right. So that's adult coloring. You just cut them according to what you want to cut out, things like that. And that makes a lot of great cards. The next one is Christmas cards. Commercial Christmas cards. I saw this in somebody's post this week. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but it was awesome. There it was. Okay, so we're going to cut this. I'm going to cut the penguin to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And he's going to go on this green cardstock. So 4 inches. I don't want to cut his antlers off, so I'm just going to make him fit here. Yeah, maybe a little bit of the antlers will go. Okay, so now down to 4 inches and then 5 1/4. We're gonna cut a little bit of this guy and 5 1/4. Ooh, I'm gonna chop off some of that. I'll have to cut some more of his off. You just gotta play with it. Okay. So, got a card. Oh, wow, he'll fit perfect. You know what? I need more poof and pizzazz to that. Use a decorative scissors. This one's called a decal. They sell them they sell Hobby Lobby, things like that. Amazon, I'm sure, sells kits of decorative scissors. I use the decal. It's easier. And then look. Just like that, it's made it just that much poppier. All right, green card. You can't write in a green card. So what you do is you take white Xerox paper, white cardstock, whichever you choose, and you run on both sides so that the troop has plenty of room to write. Just like that. And you would do that to the other side as well. And there, you have a full card. All right, Christmas cards, tags. You've heard our Mona, Margaret, Mom, and I. We've got over 500 of these little guys. So, oh, my photo splits. I didn't tell you about my photo splits. Photo splits is another. I just love my photo splits. They're the easiest to work with. They come in a box. They come in a roll. And you just, I use the tweezers because, like I said, my fingers don't work. When you put these on, hang them over the edge. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of blue showing. That way, all you have to do is peel. Peel, peel, peel. And see, that one went too far down. I can't peel it. So that's where I use my tweezers. But those are photo splits. Okay, so you got the card. Christmas tags, tons of them. Yeah, okay. Peel off the splits. Now, some of them you can put, punched out bows on them to cover the hole. You don't have to cover the hole. You can cover it. Make no difference. Mind. This, luckily enough, it was white paper with spots, so I'm covering the hole like that. And there, you have a Christmas card. All right. Next. Oh, this was session number 5. Hobby Lobby sells, and I'm sure Michael says too, 50 cards and envelopes. There are all these different designs. When you open them up, yeah, you can use them, but get double your money's worth. They're double-sided cards. So, boy, if my thing at home looked like this, I would not be able to craft it all. So you want to cut off the folded part because it looks ugly. And then trim that. See, there's the fold part right there. So, there's the fold right there. So you want to cut that little part off. Now, the back side of these cards, I think Margaret told me that Michael's doesn't have the name of the product on it. So, I don't know if you can see that. It's got the name of the product right there. So what you do is you just shimmy that one off. So, here is this card, edge to edge. You can put them on straight like this, or you can do what I did. I used the decal scissors, and I decaled it, stuck in a thing on there. And then this is the one because it's smaller. Because you've got a top and a bottom, I like to make sure it's even all the way around, so I always cut the sides as well. So there's my little edges around there as well. So this 50 cards and 50 envelopes gets me 100 cards and 50 envelopes, but it gets me 100 cards. So that's easy. Okay, so 6. Hey, I only got 2 more after this one. All right, this one is called matting. When you get your designer paper. This will be in the handouts as well too. It's a okay, you can tell I can't look in the screen same time. Different sizes. So this one, obviously this is not to scale. Oh, look at that. I even put that on there. Okay, so here's the purple mat. Here is my printed paper. I should have used bright something. But anyway, you can see that there's a little bit of purple around the outside. So that is now a matting. You can mat your sentiments. You can mat your stickers, whatever, give it, if you only have a small piece of paper like this one, if I only had this one, and that's all I had left, take a mat, of course, with the color that fits, and you can do that to that, and it brings it out. So matting's good. Corner rounders are great. Another little punch tool. There's my sentiment. Corner rounder. Different kinds. Mine's a curve. Punch. And now it's curled around the edges. So they have tons of paper. This is like a 6x6, 4x6 pack. All printed paper, one-sided. But okay, so this is the one I want. I purchased these from Hobby Lobby. Thank you, Margaret, for the dangerous. That was great. But it comes in different colors. This one's purple because this is kind of like a purple thing. So what I would do is take my paper and go, will that one work? Will that one work? Will that one work? It allows you all the shades of the colors, and it allows you to be able to go, So that's also in. Okay, so what's left? Oh my God. Making a sticker. a Xyron. We use these to make little ones. So here, if you could only see my desk, you would just laugh. Oh, that one's too big. Where's my other small punch? Okay. How can I lose a punch? Oh, there it is. All right, so punch. Okay, so you got this little guy. He's a pain to be gluing. So you use a Xyron and you put him in. To me, it looks like the old the corn hopper on the farm, something like that. So you stick it in the hole. And then on this side, there's a pulley. Let me come over here. And you pull them through. And then rip them off. So now he's got adhesive. So you peel it off. And he sticks, of course. And then that's sticky. That goes on. Now, the thing of it is you want to make sure when you're using adhesives that you have a eraser. You know, it was all organized. You want to use an adhesive eraser and then just go around the edges and erase that puppy. You know, all right, number 7. One more. How to make card bases. I asked you guys to purchase your own because I didn't want you to spend the money on buying equipment for it. So you make card bases. This will also be in the handout. We buy heavyweight stock, which is about 80 pounds. Anything lighter, okay, it'll work. But when you're standing that card up and you have all the front on it, it's going to start bending and sagging. So don't go extra heavyweight, like 110 pound, because when you crease it, it cracks. So 80 pound heavyweight stock. This is from Hobby Lobby. You can buy it anywhere. All right, so you're going to cut. You got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to turn it sideways. And you're going to cut 5.5. Okay, so now you have 2 5.5 sheets, 5.5 by 11. You're going to take, this is a scoreboard. Let's see, that's a scoreboard. Comes with this nice little scoring tool. You put it up to the corner. You can tell I use it for a lot of things, so I have my numbers everywhere. You're going to want to score at 4 1/4. You're going to want to score, this is 8.5. Is it 8.5? Yeah, 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, so you're going to want to score it in half. So that'll be 4 1/4. You want to come down, yeah, once, twice. All right, so you've got the score. I know you can't see this, but you have just scored in, okay? On the other side of it, okay, when you're scoring in, this is called the valley. On the other side, it'll show a mountain because you just pushed the paper through. It's suggested that you fold mountain in. Unfortunately, my document doesn't tell, I didn't write that on my document. If you fold mountain in, you get a nice crease, okay? Now, sometimes when you fold valley in, you do too, but I tend to, okay, so if I fold valley in, and that's where I just scored. Oh, okay, good. What happens, and you can't see this on the video, the edges of the paper start cracking and the pieces come up. So this is mountain in, nice smooth finish. Valley in, you're bumping. So it's your call. You figure it out. I mean, it's something that I have it written on my scoreboard, actually, that says fold mountain in. I've only been doing this for how many years, and I still have to have fold mountain in. Okay, so real quick, how to get your cards there safely. All right, number one, make sure they fit in the envelope. What do you mean by that, Mary? Well, my card fits in the envelope. Look at this. It fits. It fits. Yeah, but when you add, let me see if I can do this. Hold on. When you add thick stuff, come on. I'm looking at my computer while I'm doing. When you add this kind of thick stuff, and you stick it in an envelope, it will not close. Okay, if you're going to do this, make sure you get a bigger envelope. I personally don't, because that is about 10 cards in a box. And we ship, we try to ship 500 a month, and it fits the box perfectly. And if I were to put something like this in there, it'd be down to $4.90, $4.80. No, we're not going to go there. So I don't put a whole lot of embellishments on my cards. The other thing too is when you are using rhinestones, make sure it's on there. That one's on there, but it's moving. So make sure that your rhinestone, these are good glue. Make sure your rhinestones are stuck. See, this one just came off. Make sure they stay on, because by the time OG gets them in the card, angels are looking at them and stuff, the stuff is falling off, and then they got to flick it and do whatever they got to do to it. So make sure your cards are stuck on there. Make sure that these things are on. Make sure the glue you use is actually going to stay on. Elmer's glue is not good, because this is not good for paper, for card making paper. Okay, so you're ready to ship your cards. You want them in an envelope, you want them in baggies, don't send them in baggies. You're wasting your money. Card receivers have to take them all out of the bags and then throw the Ziploc baggies away. Put a garbage bag inside your box to line it if you wish. Take your card. There's the fold. That's the front. Matter of fact, there's your card. Slide it underneath the flap, just like that. Do not put it inside the envelope, because what happens is when they get to OG, every single card that they receive gets opened to make sure it's blank inside. If it's not blank inside, it gets into another section, like, thank you card or whatever. But they have to verify that they're going to be blank inside. I saw somebody had asked about, can we put a sentiment inside of it? If you're going to put a sentiment inside of it, it's got to be tiny enough to where they can write. But think of it this way. You're going to get a card and you're going to open it up and it's going to say, I really miss you. But the guy wants to write something to his son's new employer, because his son's new employer got him a job, and I really miss you isn't going to work inside there. So, it's up to you, but I prefer to do blank all the way through, because they can use this card to send to the vet when they fix their wife's dog, things like that, whatever. No glitter, no shimmer pen either. I don't know how OG Card Angels do it, but to me, when I see a glimmer pen on here, I take my finger and I do this. And if I see it on my finger, it's gone, because you don't want glitter on their uniforms, especially when they're out fighting, I can't think of anything else, and I can't believe I did this in an hour and 5 minutes and didn't get to talk about everything I wanted to talk about. But if you have questions, please ask. You can email me rather, or message me. I'm done, Mona. I'm ready for a cigarette.
We're not condoning smoking, by the way. She's just anyway. Great job, Mare. The chat has been coming along. A lot of great questions. And a lot of wonderful kudos to you. Everybody's very appreciative, a lot of information. And so, yeah, those files, all of Mary's stuff, diagrams, instructions, measurements are all going to be posted in the files in the Facebook group. So